Am I going to get lots and lots of grits? I really hope so. When's the last time you really cleaned your face? So today's curiosity is, how do you deeply cleanse your pores, and which method should I use? So if you've been on YouTube or the internet, you may have heard of oil cleansing. And today I'm going to talk about like the crazy, more in-depth version of that with the FiftySnail method with Jude Chow. I first came across her blog several years ago, and I never really knew how much I needed it until now. So keep watching. So I'm gonna give you a little bit background on what my skin is like. I am blessed genetically to have really strong oil production on my face, on my scalp, like all over. So what that means is I get really shiny and greasy really quickly. And as you can see today, I just have skincare on with sunscreen and just like a little bit of eyes and lipstick. But other than that, you can see the natural state of my skin, and you can see the really big pores on my T-zone, especially on my nose. And I just really want to fix that. And it makes putting on base products really difficult, where it's like not to my standard. Like I can still see these little dots on my nose poking through my foundation, and that's not okay to me. So today I'm going to show you how I deeply cleansed my pores. Starting with right here, I really want to target this area where you can see the little like black dots, and right here on my cheeks, and my forehead is like okay, but it could be better. So I'm gonna go through all of that with you. If you've been around the internet and really care about skincare, you might have already heard about this process called oil cleansing. So FiftySnails, she takes it to a whole nother level, and she's going to really prep the skin for the extraction. And so you have like the best results possible. And so here are the products. Starting with number one, you need a really strong BHA. So make sure it's BHA, not an AHA, because those do completely different things. And I'm just gonna use the cheap and good. The Ordinary comes in a dropper bottle. So there's two versions right now with salicylic acid. It comes at 2%. So make sure you get something that's really strong, so 2%. If you go lower concentration, it may not prep your skin to fully extract the grits, which is what you want to do. So step one, you're going to need a very strong BHA, and then, like I said, you need a clay mask. So I use the Korean brand Innisfree Super Volcanic Pore Clay Mask, 2 times concentration. So they also make a 1-time concentration, and I have the jar, but you can easily get your hands on the tube version where it's much cleaner, like you don't get it so messy everywhere. So you will probably want a mask spatula to save your fingernails, and I used one. Last step is you want a cleansing oil. So I use the one by DHC, and they are Japanese, I believe. Yeah, made in Japan. So this is olive oil based, and it is to remove everything and do the actual extraction of your whiteheads. So if you don't use a cleansing oil, it's not gonna work. But I will list some alternatives. So after you do the process of prepping and extracting your whiteheads, you want to soothe and hydrate your skin afterwards. So I use snail mucin, and if you're not about the snail, then I don't know if we can be friends, but just kidding. You can use whatever other really hydrating, watery based lotion to make sure you really like rehydrate, rebalance everything. So how I apply Snail, I make sure my face is very wet. So literally I will spray toner on my face with a spray bottle, and then I will apply 1 pump of Snail per section of my face. So I do 3 pumps for my whole face, and then I do another layer of toner and then another layer of Snail, and then you just like keep going up to how you feel like, if that's enough. So I usually do 2 layers, but sometimes that's not enough, especially in the winter. So I do like 3 layers, and then I will follow up with a more occlusive, super thick with 3C's moisturizer, but like a heavy cream to really seal it in so you're not losing the water after you put it on your face. Other items that you want to have is a cute headband and a mask, a spatula, or just like a spoon to like scoop out your clay mask to save your nails. And you want access, like easy access to a clean towel, maybe like 2 towels, and hot water in a bowl. The time commitment that you're looking at is 1 to 2 hours. Realistically, if this is the first time you're doing this, it's gonna be like 2 hours. So this is not really something that you just like do in 10 minutes and you're gonna be done. So it is a commitment, and you wanna make sure you're like mentally ready for how long it's gonna take, because each step, there's like a lot of waiting time. Step 1, you're gonna want to start with a clean face that is dry and doesn't have any makeup. You don't have any other skincare, it's just like skin. And then you're going to put the BHA all over. So if you feel like that would be too irritating for you, you might want to just do your T-zone. So I have done just my T-zone before. Okay, so don't be like me and use too much of the BHA where it's like literally dripping into your eyes, because I did that and it was like stinging a little bit. So just make sure you don't apply too much on your forehead that it drips. Now you're going to wait 30 minutes to 1 hour. So if you are doing this for the first time, I recommend you just wait 30 minutes and let the BHA work its magic. Step 2, you're going to not do anything to the BHA on your face. So you have the salicylic acid on your face and you've waited at least 30 minutes. Now we're gonna go in and put the clay mask on top. So this is when I said it might be a little tricky if you use the anhydrous salicylic acid like me. It's gonna be like very oily because it's carried in squalene, and it might make your clay mask application kind of difficult. So what I did is I took some tissue and I like blotted my face first to soak up the extra oil, and then I went on and put on the mask. I used a silicone plastic mask spatula to save my nails, so I don't have to like dig out this volcanic clay mask from under my nails. The Innisfree mask that I use, the volcanic one from Jeju, is gonna have an immediate cooling effect. So it's like really nice to like go into this process. So now with the salicylic acid on your face with the clay mask on top, you're going to wait 15 to 30 minutes. So for me, if you're using a thin layer of the Innisfree, it's gonna dry in like 10 to 15 minutes, and that's all you need to wait. If you're using a different mask, just follow those instructions, and if there are no instructions, I would wait until it's dry. So now with your salicylic acid and clay mask combo, it's dry, you're going to rinse your face with water. However, you want to make sure you're using lukewarm water here, because lukewarm water is the least irritating. So we're talking not super hot and not cold water. So if you don't know how warm lukewarm water is, I googled it. It is like 90 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. so just about body temperature. And I just put it in a metal bowl here and used it to like wash my face in the sink. You can alternatively just hop in the shower if that's easier for you, but then that will take longer to finish the process because we are not done yet, right? So after you rinse off your clay mask, now we are almost at the end. So we're on step 3. We are finally going to do some extraction and see if we have these whiteheads come out. So we're going to take our cleansing oil. Okay, so on a completely dry face, so this is where your towel comes in. You want to really dry your face. Use a fan if you have to. Like make sure you wait like 5 minutes and then like wipe your face again with the towel on a clean dry section and see if your face is really dry. You also want to make sure you have dry hands because applying the cleansing oil is like, this is required. And now we're going to take our cleansing oil and we're going to put it on. So you just like throw it on your face literally, and then you're going to wait 15 minutes-ish, give or take. Once the oil has like really seeped into your skin and the pores, it's gonna really like attract those whiteheads and push them out. So after waiting like 15 minutes or so, you're going to gently massage your face. And I do mean like gentle, so you should not be like squeezing your face. You shouldn't be squeezing your nose, squeezing pores like you have a pimple and you're like trying to pop it. If you do that, you can cause damage because you know your skin is delicate and this is your face skin that is much thinner than the rest of your body. FiftySnail says you only have to massage like 3 to 5 minutes before you'll start feeling the grits come out. And unless this is like your first time and you have like a really big buildup of whiteheads, you're not really gonna see them because they're so small because you take care of your skin. So like me here, I didn't really get any grits, and I'm gonna talk about troubleshooting next, about why that could be. And don't worry, you still did a really nice thing for your skin and you actually still cleaned it whether you got grits or not. So you're gonna massage, don't overdo it, don't squeeze it. I know you're tempted, but don't squeeze. I know I'm a liar because I totally squeezed. Like I tried to like really dig in there and see if I could get some whiteheads out, and I did not. So just like avoid it. If they did not come out with the gentle massage, they're not gonna come out with a hard squeezing either. So it just means like you took care of yourself and you don't have any like really big whiteheads that need to come out. So until next time. Okay, so now you finish massaging and it's been 5 minutes, and this is where it differs from like the Western oil cleansing method. So for the Western method, what I've seen is you put the oil on your face immediately with no prep and you massage for like 30 minutes, an hour, and you should be like getting grits at like the 30-minute mark. And to me, that's just like not a useful time. That's not a useful way to spend my time. So I like the FiftySnails method better, where you're like preparing your skin for the extractions and then they come out if you have any. And if you didn't really get any grits, like you can see in this time that I did this method, then you still cleaned your face and it is still beautiful and smooth afterwards and deeply clean. Okay, so now you have oil on your face, you finished massaging, you got some grits, maybe you didn't get some grits, but either way, your face is really clean now and you have a bunch of oil on your face. So what you want to do is wet your hands. So just like run the sink, wet your hands, and they're just wet. You don't have to like get a scoop of water or anything, and you're gonna start emulsifying the cleansing oil. So this is where like it really benefits to use a cleansing oil because it is made to be emulsified with water. So this is why it was really important that you started with a dry face, that you're not already emulsifying it before you start, because water is not attracted to oil, right? The point of the oil was to attract the whiteheads, the sebum, and pull it out. And then once you're done doing that, you can rinse off the oil. And it's much easier to rinse with water. And if you use a regular carrier oil, so like a single ingredient, then it's going to be very difficult to rinse off all this oil at this point. And you're going to have to use like some other cleanser. So we rinse off the oil. Now we're at the last step, which is hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Like, give your skin a drink of H2O. So I like to use a watery toner, whatever, it doesn't have to be aloe or whatever base. Just make sure it's like very watery and spray it. And then I follow with snail. You don't have to do this. You can use whatever moisturizer you have on hand that is watery and hydrating, and then you're going to seal it in with an occlusive type of cream to like lock it in to make sure you're not losing water throughout the day. And now you're done. You have beautiful, smooth skin ready for whatever. Okay, so what if you made a mistake and you want to try this again? Well, yay, congrats! Way to like keep at it and keep taking care of your skin. If you're like me this time, I didn't get any grits, let me run through some scenarios of why that could have happened. So first off, if you did not prepare your skin well, then you're not going to get any grits. So this is why I dislike the Western oil cleansing method, because there's no preparation. You just go straight into the oil on your face and then you just like hope some grits come out. So that could be why. Number two, this is a good problem to have. You could be like me and you've been taking care of your skin. You've been using niacinamide to really shrink your pores and you just have no whiteheads. That just could be why. And that's wonderful, right? So either way, if you did this and you didn't get any grits like me, then you still have cleaned your face, remember, and you gave yourself this like beautiful facial and you still feel amazing afterwards. So don't feel bad you didn't get grits. Next time you will. Like, just try it again. So if you were not listening when I said strong BHA, I really mean it. The BHA really has to be strong or you're not going to prepare your skin well for the whiteheads to come out. So if you didn't know, BHA is to deeply clear out your pores. So if you ever look into like BHA versus AHA diagrams, it will show you that. So that's why we are using salicylic acid. And if you want to use a BHA alternative, CosRx has one. It is called the Blackhead treatment. And it is a really good BHA that isn't salicylic acid based. There's also Paula's Choice, the Inculus, it's just like whatever you already have. Just make sure it is new, because salicylic acid or other BHAs degrade the longer you have it. So the concentration of BHA goes down the longer you have this product. In this video, I think I figured out why my grit extraction didn't happen. It's because the day before I put on the salicylic acid thinking this would help me the next day to extract. So what ended up happening was a few hours after I put on the salicylic acid, I felt some like whiteheads just like pop out because I was just like scratching my face and touching it and just like going through my day, and then I just felt some whiteheads come out. And then, so if I did not apply salicylic acid early, I would have just gotten those grits when I did this extraction. So just follow the steps. Don't try to like prepare your skin the day before like I did. That's not gonna work. Okay, so there's some people who don't believe in this method because they consistently use BHA already. So of course you're not going to need a deep pore cleansing because you already do a regular routine of pore cleansing. So if you already do that, then this method is not for you because you don't need a deep pore cleansing because your pores are already clean. So your clay mask must be clay based. So don't just like buy something that seems like it is. You want to use something that has real clay and it's mostly clay based instead of other filler products. If you don't use like a clay, you might not like prepare your skin well enough and then you're just like hoping the oil does the majority of the extraction. FiftySnails recommends the ordinary salicylic mask if you want like a Western version of the Innisfree. But the Innisfree is like the most famous best-selling product. So you might as well just buy the Innisfree because you know it's like well loved. And many people swear by it and it definitely works. Not to say like the ordinary doesn't work or that other clay mask doesn't work. Of course, that's not what I'm saying. Okay, oil. So what if you don't have the DHC cleansing oil and you just want to use something else? I got you. So DHC is very expensive. So that's why I have this like itty bitty 1 ounce trial version. And so you want to make sure it's going to work for you before you buy like 10 ounces of it, right? So get yourself a little 1 ouncer trial or you just buy whatever other cleansing oil you know that it works for you and you love it and you're gonna use it. So you're not just buying products for this one pore cleansing method. You're buying products that you know you'll use in other situations. Okay, so some people said you can do this method with cleansing balm. I tried that one time. It did not work, but your mileage may vary, so you can try it again. But what I found is balm is just not gonna work because it's gonna like really pill up instead of it like smoothly glide over your skin, your pores, and pull those whiteheads out. And so the one time I did try the cleansing balm, it pilled and then it didn't get me any grits out. It just like pilled up and that was it. So you can try it, let me know if it works. I saw some other reviews of this method and they said they used the Hemish cleansing balm and it didn't work for them. So that's 2 strikes against cleansing balms, but just try it out. Like if you already have a cleansing balm and you want to try it, then you should. Okay, warning. This deep pore cleansing method is not for the faint of heart, meaning not for sensitive skin or like compromised skin or people with dry skin. So if you are one of those people with sensitive, compromised, or dry skin, FiftySnails listed out alternatives to this method of using salicylic acid and clay and oil. So you check out her blog. I'm gonna link that down below for you so you can also clean your pores even if you have dry skin. So it's not just for oily combination skin. Conclusions. So I've tried this method 5 times with like 5 different variations and I got grits 1 time. So I walked you through some troubleshooting tips and alternatives so you can see why maybe this won't work. So this method is like very specific, but it definitely does work. I'm really oily and this method really deep cleaned my pores and it was so satisfying to do and to just like see and feel the like sandpaper underneath your fingertips. You should definitely try it. So for the future, Rosie report conclusion, I'm gonna do this again. I love doing this. Unfortunately, it just takes a long time. Like when you wait for the products to sink in and, you know, prepare and actually extract. But nevertheless, it is so satisfying to see those grits come out of your face and know that you were able to do it and now your face is cleaner. So let me know what you guys are curious about next. I'm curious if this worked for you. Drop a comment and let me know. Here are some other videos you can check out in the meantime. Thank you for your support. Bye!